Ideal client profiles can be really tricky to come up with because a lot of people get stuck on it's a 30-year-old female, she drinks coffee, she struggles with websites, like we get caught up in these very superficial things. And while I think it's a good connection point to know if your ideal audience is athletic or into coffee or really into music, like it might matter to what you do, but really knowing your ideal clients, we all know, is very important for your marketing and your messaging. And often this comes with a lot of market research. I actually did 50 market research calls just this past summer, and it was great. I loved being able to connect with my audience. I've done audience surveys in the past, and it was really good, but it's been a long time. And those surveys back then were really centered around what kind of content do you want to hear from me? This summer, my market research calls were really getting into like, what are you struggling with? What do you think about this? What kind of help are you looking for? And that kind of information. And it was great. But this tool that I'm about to show you gave me a lot more information than those 50 calls. So I wish I had found this sooner, which is why I want to share it with y'all today. So it is called, let me pull it up here, the Clarity Playbooks. This is not a sponsored video. I have used this actually twice. I've done this playbook twice, or like gotten 2 versions of it, and I'll explain that in a second. So the Laurens, as they are called, have this AI tool that you can see. This is the Clarity Playbook, and they have a huge setup. You submit a little bit of information about your business, your services, your ideal clients, and by little bit, I mean you get like 1 paragraph. This isn't an 8-page form that you're filling out to give AI, some information. And it reads that 1 paragraph and gives you roughly 30 pages of information. And I have my playbook that I'm going to share with you so you can see what you're getting. Um, so the reason I did 2 is there's kind of 2 ways you can submit your information. The first is just that 1 paragraph that I mentioned. The other is they have a secondary form where you answer, I believe, about 6 or 7 questions, and it summarizes that into a paragraph that then you can go back to the initial form and put that paragraph in. So if you have a hard time articulating things, the secondary kind of longer form will help summarize so you can put that into um, the form and let the engine do its thing. So it's called the Clarity Playbook. I have the link down in the description below, but I'm going to show you my playbook so you can see how much information it gives you. So first, just to look at this sidebar over here, look how many subheadings and headings there are in this document. There's a lot in here. And for some, it might be overwhelming. And so when you get your playbook, my recommendation would be to set aside some time, maybe have a few other Google Docs open where you can grab snippets and put that aside for like, oh, this is really good information for a new service idea, a new digital product. I actually use some of this in wording and messaging on my website, in my emails, in my Instagram reels, on threads. There's so much information in here. So make sure you set aside some time. Um, because I mean, look at how much information. So you have literal like demographics, psychographics, professional profile, consumer behavior, media consumption, goals and aspirations, communication preferences. And this is all generated by AI. Like they aren't going out and talking to 100 people in your audience to get this information. It's literally from AI. Once you submit your form, you get your playbook within, I think it was like a matter of 10-15 minutes or so. So it's very, very quick and fast. And as someone who has done the market research on calls and then also did this playbook, it lines up very, very well. And so you can go through every section and look at things. I really liked going to the pain points specifically, to really look at what are people saying. or quote unquote saying about their, their problems as it relates to my services, and using the pain points. Again, I've just mentioned this, but using the pain points language on social media, on my website, to incorporate this so it does a better job of connecting with my audience. Now, not literally like taking an entire paragraph and just putting this on my website, but for instance, I need someone who understands how to make my website look professional, inviting because it feels outdated, doesn't reflect the quality of my services. So I would say like my website looks professional, and like on my copy on my website, I might say you want your website to look professional and inviting. Um, the thought of integrating different tech is just another, is a headache you don't want to deal with. I will take care of it. So using little snippets of copy like that can be really, really good for making your copy more clear, whether again on your website or social media. Again, even like, is there anything you're ashamed of or embarrassed about? Using this copy is going to help that emotional connection with your audience, which helps with website conversions because so many people buy based out of emotions. You want to make sure that your copy and your website and your social media is really connecting on that emotional level. So, there's a lot in here. As you can see, it just keeps going. They go into desired results, long-term goals, tipping point. This is also a really good section. I loved this about like this is their make or break moment, and they are like ready to buy. So using some of this language in your social media, where people are like, oh, that girl is really talking about my issue and what I'm struggling with. Like, let me go connect with her, check out her services, that kind of stuff. So make sure you go grab the playbook. The link is in the description. If you have questions, let me know. I will do my best to answer. Again, this is not my product. I'm not sponsored by them, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Otherwise, I will see y'all in the next video.